But I had my fabulous Meghan Markle, who showed up at Balenciaga, and it was flawless for a whole bunch of reasons. All of this because they wanted to hang my beautiful, wonderful Meghan Markle by her beautiful waist and swing her around and throw her to the dogs because she attended a fashion show of which she has not attended in about a decade because of this frivolousness. She was beautiful in monochromatic white and cream. It was flawless. I was so happy to see her. The British press, on the other hand, were not, and that's why I'm here. And black monochromatic look for dinner was sensational. It was backless. And Meghan, I'm going to send you my backless bras. Yes, my darlings, you're going to live and love. You're going to be the first to have it. It was fabulous. You looked gorgeous. And my only upset with you, Meghan, darling, is that you didn't turn around and put up your middle finger to the English press. I would have loved for you to do that. But then again, you're a very classy lady and you ignore the haters. The haters keep you in the press. They keep you hot, 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 hot. Because that was truly how I knew that you were in Paris. And the British, I can understand how badly you feel. Because she's embracing Europe. We are the heart of Europe. And she did give you a middle finger by not coming here. Because you have not once said anything pleasant about her. You so badly want her to trip up. And so when she kissed Pialo, you said, oh, it was an awkward moment. It was a cringe moment. You will say anything at all to discredit her. But let me tell you something. Those that are for Meghan are for Meghan. We are die-hard sisters. I'm not a fan. I am her sister. I will support her, behind her, in front of her, beside her. I am for her. I am for sisterhood. And I know so badly it's because you thought Homegirl would not thrive. You thought that let us cast them out and they would not thrive. They would not survive. They would not elevate. That they would not be able to move on and do what they gotta do. And on top of that, which is salt in your wound, that they even found friendships, that they found people that showed loyalty to them.
Who? Somebody called Buckingham Palace's emergency line because Mrs. Fumi Desalu-Vold just committed verbal arson on the British press. She didn't just address them, she annihilated them with poise, perfume, and perfect diction. The woman spoke like she was hosting a royal masterclass in elegance and execution. Fumi said, "You want smoke? Here's the entire bonfire." Let's be real. The way she opened that clip, it wasn't a rant, it was a sermon. "Why are we here?" she asked. And the answer? Because the British media still haven't learned that when you poke at Meghan Sussex, the universe sends you consequences, usually wrapped in Balenciaga and grace. And Paris Fashion Week? Oh, honey, Paris Fashion Week didn't know it was about to become Royal Redemption Week. Meghan stepped out, and suddenly the Wi-Fi in Windsor started glitching. Every bitter reporter in London's group chat was typing essays in all caps like, "Who let her look that good?" The British press collectively lost oxygen because Meghan dared to show up looking unbothered, expensive, and untouchably radiant. They've turned Woman Attends Fashion Show into a 5-day scandal, complete with experts analysing her fingernails. They're exhausting. You'd think Meghan walked in and declared herself Queen of France the way they reacted. And Fumi said it perfectly. If anyone else had worn that outfit, the same press would have called it timeless and chic. But since it was Meghan, suddenly it's drab, boring, uninspired. Sweetie, what's uninspired is the recycled hate headlines. Meghan wears cream and white, they call it vanilla. Someone else wears beige, they call it sophisticated minimalism. The double standard is doing gymnastics. Fumi said, "You only call it drab because it's on Meghan Sussex." And that right there was the thesis. They don't critique, they project. Every time Meghan shines, it exposes their jealousy in 4K. Let's also talk about Fumi's energy. She came out there looking flawless, 56 years young, telling the world, "I copied Meghan's makeup." Now that's a woman who understood the assignment. While the tabloids are out here crying over lighting angles, Fumi's out here blending her blush and blessings. She said it straight. The haters keep Meghan hot. Whew, she did not lie. The British media are basically Meghan's unpaid PR team. They post more about her than they do their actual royals. Without Meghan, half these tabloids would be printing Sudoku puzzles and cat photos. And Fumi was right. Meghan doesn't need to flip them off. Her existence is the middle finger. Every time she shows up glowing, thriving, and living her soft life in peace, that's her silent, kiss my Balenciaga heels moment. Meghan claps back with elegance. She lets success do the dragging. Now, when Fumi dropped the geography lesson, I almost fell off my chair. She said, "Let me educate you because apparently none of you can open Google Maps." The British tabloids didn't even fact-check their fake Diana comparison. Fumi came in like a university lecturer, breaking down bridges, kilometres and arrondissements. Sis was giving Royal Cartography 101. The woman did more journalism in 2 sentences than the entire UK press corps in 6 years. And she was right. They don't research, they react. Their motto is basically, if Meghan sneezes, publish it. It's lazy, desperate, and lowbrow. At this point, you could hand them a photo of someone else entirely, and they'd still find a way to caption it, Meghan Sussex's new scandal. Then she said the quiet part out loud. They thought Harry and Meghan wouldn't survive without them. They thought moving to California meant fading into oblivion. Instead, the Sussexes glowed up, levelled up, and linked up with A-listers, while the royal family was still figuring out how to get people to care about ribbon cuttings. And Fumi's line, "Those that are for Meghan," that was gospel. That's not fandom, that's sisterhood. We don't just support her, we protect her. Fumi called herself Meghan's sister, and you could feel that love through the screen. That's the global village of women who are done letting the British media bully a biracial woman for being confident. And Fumi hit them again with the truth. You didn't love Princess Diana. Boom, mic drop. Because if you did, there's no way you'd turn around and torment her son's wife with the same cruelty that killed her. You can't claim to honour Diana while mocking her legacy in real time. That's not nostalgia, that's hypocrisy. And when Fumi quoted scripture, "Girl," she said, "God will make you blind, so your loss will be somebody else's gain." Whew. I felt that in my soul. The British establishment had a global gem in Meghan, and they fumbled her like a hot potato. She could have been their crown jewels. Instead, she's their biggest what-if. Now, Fumi also mentioned Kim Kardashian, Tracy Ellis Ross, and the others who attended that same event. And she's absolutely right. Nobody said a word about them. Meghan sneezed in Paris and made front-page news, while the others could have done cartwheels in couture and not a peep. Because Meghan doesn't just attend an event, she becomes the event. She's the headline. She's the headline they can't resist, even when they pretend to hate her. It's obsession disguised as journalism. They hate her, but they need her. She's their algorithm, their traffic spike, their SEO strategy. Meghan Sussex is literally their meal ticket, and they still bite the hand that feeds them clicks. And Fumi's outrage was personal. You could feel it in her voice, that frustration we all share when we see how blatantly unfair it's been. She said she's tired of defending Meghan from lies that could be debunked in 30 seconds if they had integrity. But no, drama pays. Facts don't trend. So instead, they fabricate, they exaggerate, and then they play victim when called out. Let's not forget Fumi's elegance even in rage. She didn't curse, she didn't yell, she delivered that read like a fine art performance. Every sentence had posture, every drag had punctuation. If shade had a fragrance, it would smell like Chanel No. Truth. And the ending? Iconic. She wrapped it with wisdom. You had her, you didn't see her, and now someone else will. That's the story of the century. Meghan gave them a chance to evolve. Instead, they clung to outdated hierarchies and bitterness. Now, she's thriving globally while they're stuck refreshing comment sections for comfort. Let's just call it what it is: jealousy. Meghan represents evolution, a woman who walked away from an institution and still won. The British media can't process that. They're addicted to seeing women crumble, and Meghan refuses to give them that satisfaction. That's why they rage. That's why they write nonsense. So yes, Fumi, speak for the people. You said what needed to be said, and you said it with pearls, power, and perfectly moisturized skin. Meanwhile, the British press are over there gasping for relevance like, "We can't believe she wore white." Sweetheart, she's been wearing purity while you've been bathing in pettiness. Catch up. Fumi didn't just defend Meghan, she defended truth. She defended fairness. She reminded us that being classy doesn't mean being quiet. Sometimes Grace has to raise its voice, and this time Grace wore hoop earrings and read them to Filth. So let's give Mrs. Fumi her flowers, darling, and a standing ovation with Balenciaga heels clicking in sync. Meghan's unbothered, Harry's thriving, Fumi's glowing, and the British media, still spiralling in their group chats, crying into teacups labelled irrelevance. At this point, the hate has expired. The only thing aging faster than their lies is their readership. The world has moved on. Meghan won, love triumphed, and bitterness got evicted. Now excuse me while I grab my sunglasses, because between Meghan's glow, Fumi's power, and the flame she left on the press, it's way too bright in here.